Instagram is fucking your mind. In this video, I'm gonna explain how Instagram is fucking your mind and why deleting Instagram will change your life. Now, let's get straight into it. Now, this may come as a shocking realization, but right now, you are living your life through other people. You're not living your true life and what you really want to do. You see other people, what they're doing online, what they're doing on Instagram. You see them posting pictures, posting videos, posting stories, and you see their life and you're living through them without actually realizing you're not living your life. Now, I want you to think about this. If you didn't see these people posting their photos, posting Instagram stories, posting reels of this lavish lifestyle, this perfect relationship, going on yachts, you wouldn't even know they're doing it. I want you to think about that for a second. If you didn't see it, you wouldn't know it's happening. And so what happens is you start to see what other people are doing and you start to think that you need to live your life through them. You see them living this lifestyle. That then becomes what you want. You now want what they're doing because you see them doing it. It's this fear of missing out. You see other people doing it and you want to adopt these ideals, these lifestyle as your own. If you really think about it, is that really what you want? Do you really want to live that? And if that is the case and you truly do in your own being, right, irrespective of what everybody else is doing, then you know you're doing the thing that you want to do and you're living your own life. But if you're seeing other people doing this, you're scrolling online, just sitting there living your life through them. Instagram is infiltrating your mind and creating synthetic thoughts in your mind of what you think you want, how you think you want to live your life, but it's based on what other people are doing. I want to ask you, is that what you actually want? Now, later on in this video, I'm going to share with you some strategies that you can use to actually figure out what it is you want in life. But before we do that, I want to share with you a story of one of my good friends. So he's another entrepreneur. He's a young man. He just went on vacation to Greece. So he needed to take some time off. He went to Greece. Obviously, Greece is an amazing place. But when he came back, he started seeing his friends, some of his good friends that were also entrepreneurs. They were in Monaco. They had like this lavish hotel. They're going on yachts, renting supercars, and he knows that these guys are making less money than him. They're only making like $5,000 a month, and he was seeing them live this lavish lifestyle, and he's like, how are these guys doing this? How are they able to live this lifestyle? He's like, they're not even making money. They're just blowing all their money, going on social media, going on Instagram, appearing rich. He's seeing all the stories, all the reels, all this stuff. And so as I was talking to my friend, he was like, man, to the outside world, these guys look like they're rich. They look like they're having a good lifestyle. They're millionaire entrepreneurs, but really, I know they're only making $5K a month. And my friend asked me, he's like, am I living the wrong way? Should I be spending more money? Should I be going on all these vacations? Should I be buying watches? He's like, I make so much more than these guys. I could be doing this. He's like, am I living wrong? And I think that's a question that a lot of us have when we're looking at other people. Like, how do I not have that? And so you can never be satisfied with the present moment. Like, this is actually what I have. I'm grateful for what I have, but I'm also striving for what I truly want. Because then again, this infiltrates your mind. Like, well, I want to go on a yacht in Monaco because these guys did it. Or I want to get a chauffeur and drive around in a Rolls Royce Phantom because my other friend is doing it. Or he's renting a penthouse, the most lavish penthouse in Stockholm, Sweden, because that's what he's doing. So I want to do that. But is that really what you want? And so my friend asked me this. He's like, am I living the wrong way? And I told him this. Those guys are not headed where we're headed. We're a rare breed. We're an elite specimen of man that most people can't even fathom. I told him where we're headed is a completely different stratosphere than where these guys are going. Most people just want to flex on social media. They want to get followers. They're doing it for this. But I'll tell you this, as an elite specimen, as a young man, especially if you're watching this as an entrepreneur and you have big dreams, big goals, we have a much greater vision and mission in life that we are trying to fulfill rather than just go and flex and get fucking Instagram followers. Because that's not why we do what we do. And I told him we're going way further in life and we know that we're sacrificing the short term for the long-term gain. Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham, he said, in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine, meaning weighing our value. And how I think about this, in the short term, on social media, the poor man can appear rich. But in the long term, the rich man will be a rich man. And so I want you to think about that because it's the perception versus reality. Sometimes perception can become reality. And so you have to be careful, especially when you feed into this Instagram lifestyle, this Instagram persona, this facade, this fugazi that people go into. But I also told him you should absolutely spend money on experiences and memories, but do it in a way that you actually want because it is what you want, not what you see other people doing. And then he also asked me, do you think we need to see these things to then figure out what we want? And I said, sure, we can definitely look at these outside influences to gain inspiration because we would never know that these things existed if we never seen it before. You would never know about someone being on a 150-foot yacht in Monaco with a bunch of women on this this boat if you didn't see it before, right? But it is infinitely more powerful when you sit in silence, you sit by yourself, and you truly introspect and think, what is it that I really want? Going internally, what is it you really want? Because for me, I want to have a compound on a lake so I can have my family there. I can have my uncles, my friends all come and have these family parties, have these barbecues, and live life, right? But I also don't care about, going living in Dubai with a bunch of supermodels. I don't want that. I know what I want. But you can easily see on Instagram that could be what you want, and it then clouds your imagination. It infiltrates your mind, and it puts a synthetic thought, a synthetic idea that this is what you want. But is that really what you want? I don't care about those things. Thinking about what do you care about, what do you really want, what do I actually want in my life, then you're going to be able to go and carry those things out into the world. And so Instagram is infiltrating your mind. It's fucking your mind because you're living your life through other people. You're seeing them live their life, having kids, building a family, having girlfriends, and you're seeing it through them, not actually going off of camera, off of your phone, and going in the real world and actually creating it for yourself, what you want in your life. And so I was thinking about this when I was talking to my friend. I like to watch some interviews on the mob, like the mafia, and hear these old guys' stories because they're so fascinating. The way they tell their stories, you can almost feel like you were there. When they're explaining things and they're walking you through a story of how they did a hit or how they devised this plan and this scheme of how they defrauded the government of the tax on every gallon of gas in the United States, how they made like $10 million a week. It's just fascinating. Like Mikey Francese is one of my favorite that I like to watch.
I was defrauding the government out of tax on every gallon of gasoline. That was my major scam, I would say, at that point, that netted me hundreds of millions of dollars. It was during that time when I was desperate, I turned to the Lord and looked for that relationship. I was challenging God at that point. I wanted to know if it was real. In reading the Bible, I started to read it as if I was preparing for my trial. I came out of there believing with all my heart that the Bible was God's word and that Jesus was my risen Savior, based upon what I saw to be the evidence that was very solid. It was a time that God really used to grow my knowledge and to really change my heart.
When I'm listening to this, back then, they did not have the internet, they did not have social media, they didn't even have phones, cell phones, or even video cameras really. So when I was thinking about this back in the 70s and 80s, they were actually living their life without the influence of other people. So what they were able to do, they were able to put plans and actions into play. They were able to go by themselves into a social club, into a club, and do a hit on a guy by themselves, go home, and they did it because that's what they needed to do, obviously, in that life. They were doing it when no one was watching. Nobody was videotaping. No one was putting it on World Star to get a bunch of views and clicks. They did it because that's part of their life that they were living. Or they would sit at a social club and they would strategize, divide a plan and a strategy to go and take over and do business, right? And obviously the things they're not doing are legal, and I get that. And I think that Instagram, social media in general, but I think Instagram is one of the worst. It's infiltrating your mind. You're always making decisions and doing actions based on what you can post on Instagram later, which I think is such an absolutely flawed way of living. A lot of these old mafia guys lived in an era where none of that existed. And Instagram is fucking your mind to overstimulation, especially if you're a young man, a young male. This infestation of these IG models, OnlyFans creators, their sole purpose is to then suck you in and seek your attention, get the likes, comments, and they're posting to seek validation. That's really what they're there for. And so there's all these beautiful women, you scroll on your feed, and so you indulge and you start to give it to them. You give them the validation, you give them the attention that they're seeking. And it's much easier for a young man to just go on Instagram, scroll, and look at a bunch of hot women and to actually go and talk to them. The damaging part is what it does to your mind. You're seeing all these hot women online, and that is satisfying you rather than going out and actually getting and being with these women in real life. Then what happens is you're on Instagram, you're scrolling, you get stimulated, then you toggle over to an incognito browser, go to your favorite website, and then you go and you know what I'm talking about. And so it just fucks with your mind, and especially for young men, it's a gateway to porn addiction, and it's really an epidemic in men's lives right now. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that this never happened to me. How else would I be explaining this stuff to you? Because right now it's just conditioning your mind for instant gratification, wanting things now, living that lifestyle that you perceive, that you think that you want, that other people have put onto you, and then also removing and deteriorating your focus and taking your attention away from the main thing because they're seeking attention. Everybody has an agenda on there. On social media, a lot of these creators, they make money off of you, off of subscriptions or products that they're selling and promotions, ad revenue, all this stuff. And so you get put into that, you get sucked into their agenda, and then you feed into, you become a consumer rather than a producer. But even producing, you don't need to be on these platforms. I'll give you a prime example. So last month I actually got sucked into this for 3 weeks, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. I had just hired a new video marketing specialist to chop up, edit my videos. He edits these YouTube videos, and also he chops them into short pieces of content, posts them on Instagram. So when I first started working with him, he was just sending me the files for me to post the shorts on Instagram, TikTok, TikTok and Shorts on YouTube. I was doing it myself for the first like week. And the first week I was like, man, I can't do this, because it was the first time I downloaded these apps on my phone after like 3 months. And it was the first time I ever started using TikTok. And you already know TikTok is another one that just sucks you into this rabbit hole, and that completely fucks your mind as well. TikTok is probably worse than Instagram because it's just an endless feed. Okay. And so with that, I got sucked into it for 3 weeks. The first week though was me producing, right? I was posting content. So I justified myself why I was using it, why I had it on my phone. But then I delegated because I just couldn't do it anymore, because I recognized and I was aware that I was consuming. And so I passed it on and I delegated it to my video guy to have him post, and to my social media guy to post it for me. And so when I delegated, I still had the apps on my phone, even 2 weeks later after I already delegated. And so I found myself scrolling at night, 10, 11, 12 a.m., looking at Instagram stories, TikTok. Next thing you know, I'm like all over the place, and it literally just started fucking my mind. And I realized, and I was recognize this in real time. And I just saw the effect that it was having on me. My sleep started to get messed up. I was not going to the gym consistently because my sleep is off. I'm not waking up as early. I'm not doing my morning routine. I'm not praying. I'm not doing the things that I know I need to do, writing down my goals. I just kind of got out of whack. And for 3 weeks, I was literally in jet lag. I was literally just trying to like have good habits that I've kind of just built inside myself. So they're almost like automatic at this point. But I was still like put into this stage where I had to like fight every single day to get away from these things. And so even during the day, I was checking it. And when it's on your phone, you start to use these things. And so the biggest hack that I know, because I'll tell you this, I'm not as self-disciplined or have as much self-control as you probably think. And so my hack is that if you don't have it in your awareness, you don't have it in your environment, you won't use it. That is my key for a lot of things, is I just remove it from my awareness. I remove it from my environment, because I'm a human being, and these apps are literally designed to form habits and have you addicted to these things. And so a hack that I use is I just remove it. I just delete it. And then I don't have that impulse, and I can actually channel into other things that I actually really want to do. And another thing that I noticed while this 3-week stint was going on is that time was going by really fast, because I was wasting a lot of my time. My screen time was probably like 5 hours or something like that. It was ridiculous. I don't use my phone often. And so when I had these apps on my phone, I found that those 3 weeks, they were flying by. And this goes back to my original point of living through others. So when you actually live your life the way you want to do off of social media in real life, you start to build what you really want. Time starts to slow down. You're more deliberate. You're more in the moment. You're in the present, and you're actually able to do what you want to do the way you want to do it. But when you're sucked into social media, time just flies by because you're sucked into other people's world. You're sucked into their agendas. You're sucked into their life, and you start to live through them. And then your life just becomes morphed into this phone, and that becomes your life. And for the most part, I think all social medias are terrible for you, but I do think that YouTube is one of the best if you use it in the right way. If you use it for education, self-improvement, watching videos like this that are informing you of certain things so that you can improve your life. And I think that if you use YouTube in the right way, it will improve your life. But most of these social media, Instagram, TikTok, all these other ones are literally sucking the life out of you and then putting this facade in your mind, synthetic thoughts of this is how you should live your life. And so literally after just a few weeks of deleting it, my sleep is on point. I'm waking up to go into the gym. I'm doing my morning routine. I'm praying. I'm writing my goals down. I'm meditating. I'm doing the things that I've gotten more done. Time has slowed down, and I'm just so much more productive. And so you're able to get what you want out of life because you don't have these things. And so what I want you to do, I want you to go into your phone right now and delete Instagram off of your phone and sign out of it on Safari, all the web browsers, so that you're not using Instagram at all. Do it for 30 days and then use that extra time, that 3, 4, 6, 8 hours, whatever your screen time is, to channel it into your business, put it into your actual personal life, put it in going to the gym, meditating, praying, doing whatever you want to do, and figuring out and sitting and thinking, what is it that you really want? What do you really want? Do you want to improve your physique, your body? Do you want to make more money? Be able to buy a house for your family or build a house? Do you want to have a compound on a lake? Do you want to have a boat? Do you want to go on a yacht? Do you want to take vacations? But think about it from what you really want. Sit with yourself, introspect, and map out and design your life the way you really want. And so that is really what I want you to think about from this video, and the main takeaway, thinking about what is it that you really want? What do you really want? Write it on a sticky note, write it down, put it somewhere, put it on your phone background, whatever the case may be. But think about that at all times. What do you really want? What do you desire? What is your dream outcome, your dream scenario in your life, regardless of what everybody else is doing? Because when you do that, you're going to be much more fulfilled. You're going to get a lot more done, and you're going to build the life that you truly want. You're going to succeed much faster in a short amount of time because you don't have distractions taking you away from the main thing. And so I'm telling you, if you do this, it's going to change your life. Instagram, they have us by the balls. And so you got to remove it. And what's going to happen when you delete these apps, you're going to want to use it on the browser version, right? So you're going to want to go into Google Chrome or Safari, whatever, and sign into it. And I'll tell you this, the key of this, just sign out of social media on the browser so that every time you go into it, it's going to ask you to sign in, and it's going to create friction. That's going to be your cue, your trigger to get off of it and go back to work or go back to doing what you're doing, you know, spending time with your family, whatever it is, because you're not going to have to do it, right? If it's easy, you go on it, you log in, boom, you're going to go into it. And then if you do use it in the browser, it's going to be a shittier experience. You might as well just use the app. I recommend just fucking deleting it all. Don't even sign it into the web browser version, and that's going to trigger you to get off of it. You can use YouTube, but again, don't have YouTube app. Use it on the browser version because it's a shittier experience. You're not going to want to go at it as often. These platforms, their main thing is to keep you on the platform as long as possible because they serve ads. That's how they make money, off of ad revenue. If you remove yourself, you get off these platforms, you're going to be so much more fulfilled. You're going to have more clarity, and you're going to be able to work towards what you want. So that's it for this video. I really hope that you take this advice, you delete Instagram right now, pause the video, go delete it. I'm telling you, it will completely change your life and you'll get what you want a lot faster. So that's it for this video. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.